Lisbon is indeed one of the great capitals of Europe, steeped in history and intrigue. A wonderful city and a wonderful day. Let's take a look. So we strolled along in the sunshine, surrounded by historic and interesting architecture. I was in my element, my kind of place. And we've not arrived in the city centre yet, but there's something special about Mediterranean cities. Centuries of history and intrigue add to the experience. Even the shops are special. Coffee, anyone? Coffee came from Ethiopia and apparently arrived in Europe via Malta in 1565, brought by Turkish Muslim soldiers who'd been imprisoned by the Knights of St. John when they tried in vain to capture Malta. The rest is history. The journey continues. As we neared the square, the architecture got grander, the traffic heavier, and the expectation higher. The famous Commerce Square did not disappoint, with the iconic tramcars, the usual central statue. Nate was checking our location on the map, planning the day. Al fresco dining clearly a favorite. The square being very impressive. The Rua Augusta arch marks the entrance to the city and was built to commemorate the rebuilding of the city after the earthquake of 1755 destroyed it. The female allegory of glory that crowns the arch is 23 feet high. The statue is of Jose I, who rebuilt the city after the earthquake. The king on his horse is symbolically crushing snakes in his path. Nate was filming with me and providing some great shots. The elephant was a symbol of great overseas discoveries. Nowadays, the square is a popular gathering place, not least at this time, as the Football World Cup was in full swing and Portugal were playing Morocco later in the day. The tantalizing spectacle was to be shown on the big screen here, so the crowds were beginning to gather. The temperature was a balmy 25 degrees, humidity low, making it a very pleasant place to stroll around and explore. The arch is in the movie Gulliver's Travels, in which the Lilliputians wheeled Gulliver through the arch. So into the ancient city we go, certainly impressive and a wonderful place to be on such a day as this. The flags of Portugal prominent. Portugal, by the way, managed to squeeze a 1-0 win, but that was the only game they won. It's a great place to stroll around. Rua Augusta being long and straight, with 6-story buildings on either side, creating an awe-inspiring effect. As the flags fluttered expectantly, the fans sang and made their way to get a good vantage point for the match. Nathan recording the moment. It's a popular tourist stretch. The 148-foot Santa Justa lift provides great views over the city, but it involved queuing for an hour. I would have loved to go up and shoot, but no time. I have to say, I've never seen a structure quite like it. On reaching Dom Pedro Square, we got a bag of strawberries. The square was exquisite, fountains and impressive architecture, making it a must-see place, and we really enjoyed sitting a while, enjoying the ambiance and the strawberries. Lisbon is one of the oldest cities in the world. In Europe, only Athens is older, predating other European capitals by centuries. The things more than any others that make European cities stand out from all others are the squares with their fountains and statues. Magnificent. Meanwhile, we ate the strawberries and then continued the walk, simply soaking in the atmosphere and enjoying this delightful city. Our next stop was the infamous Den of Iniquity, both loved and hated, that has quietly percolated into contemporary society. When I visit India, I'm reminded that a lot can happen over a cup of coffee. Indeed, here it's happening. We're about to order the Uber.
We're in Lisbon, having a coffee. We're gonna order a taxi truck to the Castle of São Jorge.
€3 and have a look at the castle and the city from above.
Castelo de São Jorge St. George's Castle is impressive as it overlooks historic Lisbon. The ride up there is also impressive. Following the trams and getting a look at daily life here. The trams were first introduced in 1873. We followed the 28 tram, but wished we'd ridden it. Then we entered the world of cobbled streets and history. This is certainly my kind of destination, where my imagination runs wild and free. Now Nate walks in history's footsteps. And we check out the conquistadors' haunts. The hilltop being a fascinating place to visit, even before we get to the castle. Get the tickets. Enjoy the view. The sun was taking a nap. The World Cup was in full swing. King Jose I having a great view. Time to explore. King Manuel I is prominent outside the Castle Museum. Inside, the museum has many exhibits, giving insights into the historical aspects of the city and the castle. It was founded by Arabs in the 11th century when Lisbon was an Arab city. So we crossed the moat and began our tour of the castle itself. It was completely restored in 1938. There are many stone structures that have survived for centuries. Ten towers protect the castle, and we enjoyed the exploration, learning about its story from the online guide as we soaked in the history. Visitors can walk around the castle walls and get great views, both of the castle within and the city without. Getting insights on how the castle was designed to repel invaders. An interesting fact is after discovering the sea route to India, Vasco da Gama was received by King Manuel I in the castle here in 1498. Then a welcome drink, watching the peacocks.
It's been a nice interlude in St. George's Castle, but the sun went in, but nevertheless able to just look around.
We decided to walk back to the ship and enjoy the sights of the city on the way. St. Vincent, recognized for his charity and compassion for the poor. Al fresco restaurants. The iconic trams. The narrow, steep, cobbled streets with numerous trams, a hallmark of Lisbon. I'd never seen anything quite like it, though many European cities still have trams, some old, some new. Here they were antiques and reminded me of my childhood visits to Blackpool. One of the trams is a tourist hill tour, a great way to see the place if walking up hills is a challenge.